A significant winter storm will impact the Mid-South beginning Friday night with heavy snow, sleet, and ice accumulations expected through Sunday afternoon. Crippling ice accumulations are expected across portions of North Mississippi and portions of West Tennessee near the Tennessee River, leading to weather-related power outages and treacherous to impossible travel. Bitterly cold air will accompany wintry precipitation, lasting into early next week. Air temperatures and wind chills will drop into the single digits to below zero at times.
Hey everyone, this is Ben. Hey, thank you for joining us on the channel today. It is January 23rd, Friday, 2026. And this is the day where the winter storm is going to hit the United States, or the southeast and the mid area of the United States. Well, I hope by the time you're watching this video, you are prepared, your preps are done, and you're about to witness and experience an ice storm that hasn't been this bad since 1994. As you can see, we are in the red right now. It says a winter storm warning. Occurring or expected potential threats include snow, ice, power disruption, and wind. And they're saying ice accumulation up to ½ an inch with snow, with max wind gusts at 26 miles per hour. So I'm going to take you along with me and show you some of the preps I've done to get ready for this storm, and then hopefully I won't have to even. All right, so I'm going to show you what I've done to take preps for this storm. You know, let's get to the important part: water, heat, and shelter. So let's go check out the water system. So this is my water system storage for the storm. I have about 25 gallons of water, and I do have this USB pump here that I can pump water to. Now, these ones in the back are pure clean water, and the ones in the front I filled up at a spigot, and I'm not worried about any kind of bacteria or kind of impurities because I've got it hooked up to my PureWell reverse osmosis purifier, and I just did a video on this so I can get clean water here for myself and Hoku. So having this unit here is a lifesaver. I just did a review on it, so it's just kind of ironic that a couple days before the storm prediction I did a video on this. So this is the PureWell reverse osmosis water purifier. Bodega did send me this fridge for the cabin, and like I said, it's a 12-volt fridge, and I've got everything from, you know, all my necessities in here. I've got a freezer on the top, I've got some frozen meat in there, and I've got some drinks here on the door, and then I've got a tray below. And I also got my other fridge in Sarge, which is on another Bluetti Elite V200. So plenty of food there, plenty of water. But as you can see, I am charging up this USB pump through the Bluetti Elite V200. Right now I'm got about 890 watts coming in, and I'm at 32%. So I'm going to charge this up to 100, so that way my fridge runs for several days. And then right above here, I do have my DEVOS light rangers. I'm charging that as well, and these last a while. Now these are the Light Ranger 2000 lumens, and they change from white, amber, or red, and then you can also bring down the intensity by holding the power button to save a lot more power on it. So this is what I'll use outside. And then I've got a Light Ranger 4000 that will be on the telescope in with the motion sensor right there. So That one is 4,000 lumens. And as you can see, the weather isn't that bad right now. The temperatures are pretty decent. It's not very cold, but you can also hear my generator running back there. For the storm, I'm gonna move the generator underneath the porch so that way it doesn't snow on it or get iced up. Now I'm gonna be running 2 diesel heaters. This one right here is the H-Calorie toolbox, 2 I believe, and that's piped in through a RV dump valve right there. And that comes right into the cabin to warm the front half here. So, but yeah, I also have a 330 amp hour battery here made by Lipos, and that runs my lights up here. And then, you know, I can also change that light for night vision. I don't say night vision, but you know, easier on your eyes at night. And then of course I've got my cooking station here. I've got my Stoke Voltaics under there. It is an electric kettle. I did buy an air fryer yesterday, and I made some French fries, but you know, everybody's like, why are you buying an electric fryer if you're going to lose power? But I'll show you that here in just a second. Of course, I've got lamps in the cabin on for lighting. Hoku's down there laying on her bed. But that is the water system, what I use for my food. So let's go out to the stove. So this is the wood that I'll be burning for the next couple days. I need to chop a little bit more. This won't last but a day and a half. And then I've got some wood that's a little moist or has a little bit higher moisture. So I'm just kind of drying it under the wood stove while the wood stove is going. And I'm putting out some pretty good heat from the stove. You can see the bed of coals on the bottom, and then I've got more wood over there. On the top of the wood stove, I do have a heat fan. This uses heat to power up the fan, and it will blow or recirculate the air. Now, if you're looking about why do I have a pot of water on the stove, it's to help with the humidity, because a wood stove will dry out your sinuses, or you know, but having a pot of water will also help with the moisture, humidity in there. Now this right here is a moisture meter, and this is so you can measure moisture in your wood. Now they say do not burn, or they don't recommend burning wood that has more than 20% moisture because it would create creosote. And let's test this here. So this one right here is showing 24%. So that's going to go under the stove for a little while. Let me show you a drier one. So this one's showing 5%. So I know that log is good to burn. I mean, they're all good to burn if you had to, but the less moisture, the less of the smoke. But this meter does the paper, wood, and it, you know, I bought it on Amazon for about $11. So this thing does come in handy as far as indication of moisture. Okay, as we come back to the back side of the cabin where I sleep, I have another diesel heater. This is the H-Calorie TB Max 2. And this one's, I believe, is 7.5 liter capacity. So I can fill this up, and this will last me about 3 days on level 2. I do have a hose that blows down. It'll blow on Hoku and on the bed area. And of course I have my carbon monoxide meter. And I do have it piped out through a stainless steel hole pass through. And that way it'll exhaust all the fumes. Now how I'm powering this, I'm using a LiTime battery, and this is a 12.8 12 volt 230 amp hour battery, and got that powering to a USB hub right here, and it's showing I got 13.1 volts on there. So that is
still half full. And then I've got my DC charger hooked up to there, so if I want to charge this battery up from the generator or grid, well, I don't have grid here, basically I can just plug it into that. But and then of course I'm charging up some USB. That is for my heated jacket. And I think I charged up my Bouge RV power bank for my blanket. Yep, I've got 97%. And then on my Anchor Prime, I'm already at 100%, so we can take that out. And then of course, I'm going to top these off today. These are my 51.2 volt, 100 amp hour Flex batteries from LiTime. And we're talking about 15,000 watt hours, and this will power my cabin for days. And right now I'm got about 64%, 65, so around 65% if you average it out. And of course I have my solar inverter charger where I can use the generator to top everything off. I don't have solar hooked up yet. I've got the panels, but that's where the generator will be hooked up. Now these LiTime Flex batteries are pretty awesome. They have powered up my cabin for days. And it's like one of the best off-grid pieces of gear that I've had. So I do have the AC 500 from Blue Eddy. This is a 5,000 watt inverter. It has 50 amp here. It has a 30 amp, actually two 30 amps, and then three 110. And then it's hooked up to a B300K, which is almost a 3,000 watt hour battery. And I've got that as a backup. I need to charge it. It's at 0 now. But right here, I do have a humidifier that I put next to the bed here. That helps with the moisture content in the cabin. And I can show you that right now. We are at almost 40% humidity, and we're at 66 degrees in the cabin. So it's pretty comfortable right now with the wood stove. And okay, we are outside of the cabin, and you may hear my generator running over there. So I'm topping off all my power stations and the batteries. I'm going to get as much power in there. That way I don't have to run all this stuff at night. But let's go check it out. I hope you can hear me with the microphone, but let's go check it out real quick. So this is a Predator 2000. It's only a 2,000 watt super quiet inverter, and I've got it in the shower outhouse here just to help protect it if it rains. But it's been great. And it does take a little bit to power up and charge all my batteries, but it does the job. And then of course you can see I have a bunch of solar power panels here. I'm still waiting for my brackets, but they will be mounted soon, so I don't have to run the generator the whole time. Ooh, it's cold. And then I've got my Starlink Mini right there, so I got a clear north view of the sky. And that'll be running all night. I might have to move it under here tonight. We'll see how the snow goes. And then, as you know, Sarge is already ready to go if I had to leave. And I also do have a TRAVOCA fridge full of food. And I've got everything from chicken. Let me see if I can get this up here. Chicken, pizzas, French fries. I've got more chicken. Got some hamburger buns. I've got some kebabs, eggs, creamer. So I've got enough food for a couple days, which I'm not worried about. But a great fridge from TRAVOCA. Of course, I've got the back all loaded out of Sarge, so I don't need to show you that. But I did order a stack of wood the other day. So I've got plenty of wood. I need to chop up some more. And some of them are a little moist, but I usually use my meter, pick out the ones that have low moisture, and then I'll split them and then bring them on the inside. Another thing I do is if it's really wet, I'll put them in
that container or that milk crate, and I'll place it in front of the generator. And then of course I have about 15 gallons of diesel, about 20 gallons of gas. Let me see right here. I've got my oil, and then I've got this right here. This is a diesel fuel supplement anti-gel. So I'll mix that in the diesel if it starts getting negative temperatures like they say they are. Hopefully I don't have to, but I do have it just in case. And then I did use the leftover tin and wrap it on the bottom of the off-grid cabin, or just lay it on there to prevent the cold air from going underneath. So, but yeah. And then of course, you know, I've got a lot of trees. I hope they don't fall on the cabin. That'd be a bad thing. Okay, that's showing me it's fully charged. Let's go ahead and charge the 1200 and move this to the side because that is all good to go. And then we'll charge the 1200. All right, gang, so that's it. The preps for the winter storm. I hope I was able to shed some light for you all, but we're in pretty good shape, and I hope that you are too, and you will be safe. I will be trying to go live tonight on YouTube and document the storm. Also, I will be doing videos with the drone after the storm passes through, but check it out on our YouTube channel. Also, my other channel, Off Grid Gumby, where I post stuff like this on that channel. I'm actually going to post this video on both channels, but you know, we're pretty much good to go. I'm hoping that we won't be stranded for, you know, I assume the next 3 days will probably be in the cabin. And once stuff starts thawing out, you know, Sergeant Hoku and I will go out and venture out to get supplies, or if we need to get more gas. But right now we are sitting pretty good. And the main thing is I also have a first aid kit, and I do have my firearms for security as well as Hoku. So other than that, I hope you guys stay safe, hunker down, stay warm, and if you guys got any questions, pop them in the box below. So until the storm arrives, this has been in Hoku. Semper Gumby out.